Hello, it's Lynn again with Crafting Break, and this is card number 2 from the Christmas in July card class that I held last week. And this card, let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like, and we're using the Rustic Centerpiece stamp set, and it's just a stamp set. I really love this one for the fall. I'm going to be doing definitely a card with that. But I used this one for Christmas, since we're doing Christmas in July. And this one included a little bit of coloring. And you can see on this tree, I'll show you two differences here. I can see that I did. I used Mossy Meadow on this tree, and I use Old Olive on this tree. And I do like the Old Olive, so I will be using the Old Olive when I make this card on the video. But a pretty simple card. If you don't like coloring, then this is not going to be a card for you. But I particularly like to color, so I'm not fancy with my coloring. I don't, I blend a little bit, but it still looks good. I'm not an expert, and that's okay. I don't need to be. So we're using a thick, basic white card base, and I cut this piece out of the postage, what are they called? They're called the perennial postage dies. That's where I got this piece. It was the largest one. And it's a pretty large stamp, so because of that, I'm going to take my ink pad to the stamp rather than my stamp to the ink pad. And again, I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, since it's a really good black ink. And I'm going to ink that up really good. And then very carefully, with two hands, I'm going to take this off camera and get it the right grip. I'm gonna lay this right down and give it a pretty good push. Doesn't have to be, slam down, punching, stand up and put all your pressure on it. Just a good firm press. And there we go. And I'm bringing in a greeting I'm bringing a stamp from Tractor and Company. It comes from this set. It's Season's Greetings. And the third card is using that stamp set, so I thought I would use the cute little Season's Greetings from that on this card, right up here in the corner. And now you're probably wondering, are you really going to color that entire thing on film? No, I'm not. So what I thought I would do is I would show you how I did the tree, because it's not a solid image. And so I basically just followed the lines of the stamped image. So I'm using dark Old Olive, and I'm going to use the nib tip, if you will, the more pointed tip. Our blends also come with a paintbrush tip. Well, that one's really well loved and used, probably not so great anymore. Let me show you another one. Here's the paintbrush end. So just depending on what I'm coloring in will determine what side of the blend marker I gravitate towards. So I'm going to use this side of the marker, and I'm just going, and I'm using dark, I'm just basically following the lines of the stamped image. And you'll see when it's done, I mean, it looks really nice. You don't have to sit here and color everything and figure out where to end the coloring. I wasn't going to do the whole thing, but I guess I'll do the whole thing. It doesn't take long at all. You can see it's like hash marks, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. But I'm just, again, following the stamped images and just doing like lines. I might go in and, fill in some little parts, like here, little. Just like that. And I think that looks just great. You don't have to sit there and try to figure out how to color the whole thing in. And then what else I thought I would do a little bit on film is show you the reindeer. So the colors I used, in case you want to replicate the card, is dark Old Olive on the tree. I used light Old Olive on the holly leaves, dark Real Red on the berries, light Real Red on the candle. The wood base is crumb cake, so this is dark on the outside and light in the center, and I did a little bit of light crumb cake inside that candle. The flame is dark peach pie. I don't know why I grabbed peach pie, but I think it looks great as a flame. I thought orange was just too dark. So that's why I want the peach pie. And then the reindeer is pecan pie. And I did do a little bit of shading, and I did dark and light. So I'll do a little bit of that with you right now. So here's the dark pecan pie. And again, nothing fancy. I just went with where the lines were on the stamped image very lightly. And then with the light, I came in and I filled in the rest. I like to twist my paper around so I can get to all the corners. I don't know, I find this so relaxing. Some people don't, I do. And with the reindeers, you know, the reindeer antlers, I should say, it's a very, you know, small image. I just, again, outlined it, and I don't care that it's outside the line. It's just giving it some color up there. And so by the magic of camera, there's my finished image right there. So let's put the rest of this card together. I'm going to take this wood grain paper and put some glue on the back of it. And all the paper in this pack, you know, tends to gravitate light to dark, so not every piece looks the exact same. And I put this right along the edge of the card base. And because I can't get things on straight, I'll just tap it to the edge, flip it around, make sure it all looks good. I think it does. Next, I'm going to flip this over, and you know me and dimensionals. Let's grab a whole bunch of those. And we're going to pop this up on this real red layer. And yes, I'm going to go a little crazy. I don't think it's that crazy, to tell you the truth. I don't know, you tell me. I don't want it to flatten out in the mail. So, dun. Okay, maybe a little crazy. Okay, let's pull these backings off. At least the backings are super easy to get off, right? Let me throw those away. I mean, you could use a take your pick tool or some other tool to pull those off as well, but I find that they're very easy to take the backings off of, so I don't usually need a tool for that. Okay, let's get this centered the best we can. There we go. And add some glue to the back of this real red piece. Oh, I grabbed one that's a little empty. You know what though? You can always get more out. Just give it a really good shake. With the lid on, of course. Don't try doing that without the lid. Okay, we'll put this layer on. And then to finish this off, we're going to use some rhinestones. And again, I left my take your pick tool over there. I do like to use that for this. I have one little one left right here, so I'm going to pick that up there and toss that one away. Sometimes with card classes, I pull out 2 sets of embellishments, and some get used more than others, and I have all these extra pieces, and I don't know. It's hard to place them all back in an organized fashion after a card class sometimes. Okay, I think I'm going to do a medium. Whoops, I didn't grab that. Right there. All right, five rhinestones. I don't know, I like the number 5 right now, I guess. Okay, and there you have card number 2. And again, here's some similar ones. Here's the one I did with Mossy Meadow. You can see the difference on the tree. I also use Mossy Meadow on the holly leaves there, so you can really see the difference. I don't think I did much difference on this. I usually have like 3 to 4 card samples at my card class, so people can look at them. So that's why I have so many samples here. But you can see how the wood grain is different on all of these as well. So that's card number 2. I hope you enjoyed that. I've got one more card with Tractor & Company. Stay tuned.